You know, the Warriors are in the news for a lot of things recently, but I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about their all-time great point guard instead, because Stephen Curry is incredible. Simply put, one of the most impressive and important athletes of my lifetime. Not only is he the best shooter of all time, I don't think it's close, he's also one of the best point guards of all time. I think he has an argument for being the best point guard of all time. And I just want an excuse to make a video about a player who's had a big impact on the game of basketball, as well as one of my favorite players in a sport that I make content about. Steph is more than just a great shooter, he's a revolutionary player. I want to put Steph's shooting dominance into some perspective. He's made the most 3-pointers in NBA history, he's also the second most efficient 3-point shooter among the top 50 of all time. As of right now, he's the only player in NBA history with at least 3,000 total 3-pointers, and he's played in 826 games, which is the second lowest amount of games played among the top 10 all-time in shooting. He owns 60% of the top 10 single-season 3-point field goal makes records. He owns 80% of the top 5 3-point single-season 3-point make records. And to put his shooting greatness into even more perspective than this, last season he shot 38% from 3 on 11.7 attempts per game. That's an elite shooting season for almost any other player. That's the worst shooting season of his career among qualifying seasons. He did shoot 24.5% in 2020, but he only played in 5 games, so it really doesn't count. But it goes beyond just the numbers. The tape is just as, if not more, impressive. Steph isn't just the best statistical shooter the game has ever seen. He also has the best shooting tape ever as well. He's elite in all facets of 3-point shooting. He's elite off the catch, off movement, off the dribble, pull-ups, and has deep shooting range. There is no weakness with Steph as a shooter, and defenses know that and give him their full attention. It doesn't matter if he plays with another all-time great shooter, / or the most gifted scorer ever, all the attention goes to Steph, and rightfully so. But despite that, they still can't stop him, and that's what makes it even more impressive. He's the most feared offensive player on the floor. He's at the top of every defensive scouting report, the focal point of how to defend the Warriors, and they still can't stop him. A player who has an elite skill is hard to defend. A player who has an elite skill and is also elite in all facets of that skill is unstoppable, which Steph is as a shooter. But it's not just about the shooting with Steph, he's also a pretty good finisher as well. One misconception about Steph is that he isn't a great athlete, which couldn't be further from the truth. I wouldn't say he's an elite athlete that's gonna jump out of the gym, but he's also very quick, very fast, and has really good body control. Good body control requires elite balance and flexibility, which he shows as a finisher. On top of this, he has insanely good touch around the basket as well. Finishing will always get overshadowed by his shooting ability, and for good reason. He's by far the best shooter this game has ever seen. But his finishing ability is what makes him a complete offensive scorer. For his career, he attempts the same amount of 3s as 2s, and in recent seasons he does attempt more 3s than 2s, but he still attempts a decent amount of 2-point field goals per game regardless, and a lot of that is him finishing at the basket. In general, as a scorer, Steph is one of the best to ever do it, not just as a shooter. His scoring in general is all-time great. In fact, he's the only player in NBA history to average at least 30 points a game on at least 66 true shooting percentage in a season. He's also the only player in NBA history to average at least 20 points a game on at least 67 true shooting percentage in a season. That speaks to how special of a scorer he is, because not only is he doing this efficiently at an all-time great level, he's doing this as a small guard, which is just rare. High efficiency numbers are usually for the forwards and the bigs, not a player that is the stature of Steph Curry. And the tape also backs up everything I've said about Steph as a scorer as well. In fact, I would even argue the tape shows even more than the numbers do. What completes the package for Steph being an all-time great offensive player is his passing. Steph has good but not great assist numbers. 6.5 assists per game for his career is good for the scoring numbers he has, but he doesn't have the numbers that guys like Chris Paul or Magic Johnson have. However, I believe his assist numbers are more of a product of the system he plays in, which is a system that focuses on his best skills as a shooter and off-ball scorer, and I do believe he could have averaged like 10 assists per game if it were asked of him. He averaged 8.5 assists per game at one point in his career when he was asked to be that primary passer, but regardless, it isn't something that I believe should be downgraded just because the numbers are low. And it is something that I do believe expands his gravity as a scorer and makes him even more deadly than he already is with just his ability as a scorer. Steph has the most offensive gravity I've ever seen from a basketball player at any level, let alone the best league in the world. He's the most feared the moment he crosses half court. Other great options on offense have been his teammates, guys like Kevin Durant, guys like Klay Thompson, even a guy like Jordan Poole. And opposing defenses would rather deal with them trying to score than trying to stop him. He's one of the most fun basketball players to watch because of this. The fear factor that opposing defenses have trying to defend him is just so intriguing for me to watch. I'll always watch him whenever I get a chance to, whether it be on national TV, whether it be on League Pass, or when he's playing against the Celtics, and it's truly just incredible to see. There are few things like it in sports. He's an all-time great and one of the best I've ever seen, and I think it's safe to say he is one of the best to ever do it. I don't think that's up for debate at this point. And he's proved this past season he has nothing else to prove in his career. In fact, I don't even think he had anything to prove this season. It's just that, social media discourse and probably validation for himself. And I'll be honest, he should have at least 2 finals MVPs already, maybe 3 if you include this one. So I just think that it was more of a him wanting to prove to himself that he can do it rather than anything else. And here's the thing moving forward, he doesn't have anything else to prove. He's got the finals MVP, he's got the MVPs, the championships, the records. So when you have a player that's an all-time great and they don't have to prove anything, it can lead to some of the most insane things you'll see on a basketball court. You'll see it with someone even like Giannis, where after that 2021 title, he played at a different level and he just felt more relaxed. And sometimes being more relaxed can lead to lower results, but sometimes it can lead to even bigger results. And I think we see something similar with Steph this season. Being able to hoop without pressure of expectations and needing to reach certain heights has led to some of the most impressive things I've ever seen on a basketball court. So we could be in for something even more special this season. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'm notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, so if that's something that interests you, I really think you'd enjoy this channel. And liking and subscribing are the best ways you can help support me. You get this video to 100 likes, YouTube will start recommending it to others, so if you can reach that goal, I'd really appreciate it. Once I got other videos that I make that aren't related to basketball, have a long form video essay channel, link to that channel in the description below and in the pinned comment. 2 videos from that channel will be popping up over here. 1 video from this channel that YouTube's recommending on the other side. Click the icon in the middle to subscribe if you haven't already, or check out other videos on this channel that you may enjoy. With that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.